Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're popping the hood on an absolutely massive release in the AI developer space. The brand new open-source agentic model, Kimi K2.7 Code. We're going to get right in there to see exactly how it performs. And we're not just talking on-paper laboratory benchmarks here, but out there on the actual road in real-world scenarios.
So here's the ultimate developer dilemma, right? Do you want your AI to code fast, or do you want it to code well? For the longest time, we've kind of had to choose. But today, we're going to explore how K2.7 Code attempts to give you the absolute best of both worlds. It uses this really unique multi-lane processing approach that fundamentally changes how we prompt our coding assistants.
All right, here's our roadmap for today's explainer. First, meet Kimi K2.7 Code. Second, dominating benchmarks. Third, the 3 coding gears. And fourth, pricing and access. Let's just dive right in.
Section 1. Meet Kimi K2.7 Code, the engine. Let's take a look at the core specs powering this beast of a new open-source model.
Moonshot AI has literally dropped a powerhouse engine on us. K2.7 Code isn't just your basic scriptwriter, it's explicitly built for long-horizon software engineering. We're talking about refactoring entire code bases or debugging across huge multi-turn agent sessions. Under the hood, it's rocking a mixture of experts architecture. Think of it like having specialized departments in a company rather than one generalist trying to do everything. It boasts a staggering 1 trillion total parameters, but efficiently only activates 32 billion of them per token. And, perhaps absolutely crucial for developers, it features a massive 256,000 token context window. That means you can feed it massive chunks of your repository at once, and it won't lose the plot. And you know this 30% number right here? It's an absolute game changer for efficiency. Reasoning models usually tend to overthink, right? They spin their wheels, spending thousands of tokens deliberating on really simple problems. Well, K2.7 Code optimized this, cutting its thinking token usage by an average of 30% compared to its predecessor, K2.6. For you, that compounds across every single task. It means faster responses, way lower API costs, and getting actual work done within your context budget.
Moving on to Section 2. Dominating benchmarks, on-paper performance. Let's see how this heavily upgraded engine actually handles the rigorous testing tracks.
Okay, starting with pure coding capability on Kimi Code Bench version 2, K2.7. Code hits a 62.0. That's a very substantial 21.8% gain over K2.6, which was sitting at 50.9. Notice how significantly K2.7 is closing the gap with heavyweights like GPT 5.5, which scores a 69.0. It just goes to show that open-source purpose-built coding models are accelerating at a blistering pace. But what happens when we look at autonomous tasks? On the MCP Mark-verified benchmark, which tests how well a model executes complex agentic tasks entirely on its own, K2.7 actually surpasses Claude Opus 4.8. You can see K2.7 scoring an 81.1 compared to Opus's 76.4. It's really proving itself to be an incredibly capable agentic tool, not just a passive code generator. All right, Section 3, the 3 coding gears, the test drive. Benchmarks are fun and all, but let's see what happens out on the real road, relying on some absolutely fascinating testing data from YouTube creator Julian Goldie SEO. During his testing of the model's new high-speed capabilities, Julian discovered something really cool. K2.7 Code basically operates like a sports car with 3 distinct gears. It's one model, but 3 totally different ways to run it. You've got quality, which is the full model thinking on a standard lane. You have fast, which serves the exact same thinking model but pushes it through a high-speed pipe. And then you have no-think, where the model skips its hidden scratchpad entirely and just reasons in line to spit out an answer instantly.
The real magic here is that you don't just pick a gear and forget it. You manually shift based on what you actually need. Building a complex open-world game from scratch? Stick to the quality gear. Need to iterate or improve on a project you just built? Shift into fast. Or if you just need a quick, simple throwaway script where polish doesn't matter, slam it into no-think. It literally gives you unprecedented control over the speed-to-quality ratio.
But wait, here is a massive surprise from the road test. You'd think the no-think gear is always the fastest, right? Well, not exactly. The test results swing wildly. In one test, the no-think gear built this beautiful, fully functioning 3D spiral galaxy perfectly in just 39 seconds, absolutely crushing the other modes.
But in another test asking for a playable game, no-think took 125 seconds. It was actually slower than the normal quality gear. No way, right?
The reason why is just fascinating. The irony is that by skipping that thinking scratch pad, by not planning out the layout and math beforehand, the AI sometimes gets a little too spontaneously creative with its formatting. In the game test, the no-think gear inexplicably decided to wrap the entire playfield in a complex 3D framed border. This extra, unplanned creative flair actually bogged down the total generation time, making the fastest mode the slowest.
Julian's real-world testing leaves us with one perfect takeaway. He really hit the nail on the head. Faster code doesn't always mean worse code. And sometimes, the fastest gear isn't actually the fastest in practice. There is no absolute best gear. As a developer, you have to actively choose the right gear for your specific job to get the most out of K2.7.
Finally, Section 4, Pricing and Access, buying the car. Let's break down exactly what it costs to get this thing in your developer garage.
So if you want the all-in-one experience, meaning you want to use it right inside their terminal and IDE plugins, Kimi's Code offers 4-tier plans based on annual billing. It starts at the Moderato plan for $15 a month, which gets you multi-device access and weekly refreshed quotas for your regular workflows. And as you scale up to really complex, intensive projects and need massive concurrency for large code bases, you can move all the way up to the Vivace plan at $159 a month.
Now, alternatively, you might want to wire this engine directly into your own custom apps via the API, which is usage-based. And the really big story here is their automatic context caching. Because you're constantly pinging the exact same massive code base as you iterate, you're going to get a ton of cache hits. A cache hit drops your input price down to a mere 19 cents per 1 million tokens. Even a cache miss is only 95 cents. Output sits at $4 per million. I mean, that is incredibly competitive pricing for a trillion parameter model with a 256K window.
So, as we wrap up today's explainer, I want to leave you with this thought. We're officially moving past the days of generic, one-size-fits-all AI generation. With tools like Kimi K2.7 Code offering dynamic, manual control over speed and reasoning lanes, consider how you might fundamentally change the way you interact with your codebase today. Are you planning out a major architectural build, or are you just rapidly iterating on a throwaway script? The gears are there. It's completely up to you to shift them. Thanks so much for joining me on this deep dive, and keep building.